Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister vowed that he would deliver big infrastructure projects and balance the budget next year. But now we know he has no intention of doing either. Even with the recent job losses and a destabilized energy sector, the Liberals continue to spend taxpayers' dollars on their every whim, failing to heed the economic storm on the horizon. When will this Prime Minister admit that budgets don't balance themselves, brace our economy for the tough times ahead, and balance the budget?
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Canadians clearly rejected in 2015 the Conservative plan, which was austerity and cuts, which didn't work, which didn't create the kind of growth that Canadian expects, which didn't result in more money in the pockets of the middle class because they focused on the wealthiest. We took a different approach, Mr. Speaker, investing in our communities, giving more money to the middle class, lowering taxes of the middle class, while raising them on the wealthiest 1% to deliver for Canadians, and the results speak for themselves. 700,000 jobs created in the last 3 years, and our debt-to-GDP ratio is steadily going down, Mr. Speaker. We're in the best fiscal position in the G7. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For Aurora, Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill.
Mr. Speaker, the facts do indeed speak for themselves. Foreign capital is leaving. Corporations are not investing, and jobs are being lost. Right. Canadians aren't fooled. They know that spending money that we don't have today with zero results will mean severe cuts to critical services tomorrow when we need them the most. When will the Prime Minister stop failing Canadians with his reckless spending and do what every hardworking Canadian must do, balance the books?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And as I've mentioned, our debt-to-GDP ratio is steadily going down. We're in the best fiscal position in the G7, and that's because we've managed to see growth in this country over the last 3 years with a plan that is working. Unlike the Conservatives, who failed on all economic fronts for a decade, Mr. Speaker, we're seeing 700,000 full-time jobs created in the Canadian economy over the last 3 years, the fastest growth in the G7, and Canadian families by this time next year will be $2,000 better off than they were under the previous government, who focused so much on the wealthiest but so very little on the middle class.